Home workout time, part 1, mobilization.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Manny here. Still remember the time when we coughed to hide our farts? Well, now we fart to hide our coughs, and these very special times require very special measures.
Alright, part 2, warming up for the hangboard training.
In my last video I talked a little bit about how we can survive these quarantine times, how we can carry our gains over, not lose too many gains for rock climbing while we have to stay at home. But I thought, talk is a bit cheap, so I wanted to film a whole body home workout essentially, which is what I did recently. And this video is more so under the premise of you gotta work with what you have. So I'm gonna give you a couple of, some special training tools that a lot of people actually have at home without them even knowing maybe. So what we see here is I'm warming up, or actually I already warmed up for my finger training. This is the finger shinda that I always have with me. It's a little portable hangboard, pretty good stuff. This is an excellent tool to have if you're traveling, and in general, in my opinion. I've talked about that numerous times before. You can also carry this stuff to the crag and warm up for special projects or stuff like that, special on-site goals, where you can't really get the specific muscular activation for the route beforehand. So you might want to activate your fingers with something like this. And this is also not very heavy, so it's not gonna make your pack 1 kilo heavier or something like that. The thing is that for the middle edge, if you so to say want to train one-handed, the spacers don't really fit. So this hangboard is rather made for training two-handed. However, I know that they already created some middle spacers for the rope there, for the rope attachment as well, to be able to train one-handed. However, I don't have them so far, so I improvised here a little bit by using simply a pen and reducing the edge size down to, I think, 10 millimeters and 5 millimeters rounding or something. So for me, doing a one-armer on that kind of edge size is already pretty damn hard. I need to use some kind of assistance for that. As you can see, the session was fueled by excellent self-pressed orange juice. Leonidio grease oranges, just good stuff. As you can see, I'm assisting here by holding myself onto this cordage that's coming down from, fixing the finger shinda above. And that's how I did my reps essentially. Here's a little detail, when you're working with cordage like that, you can pretty much adjust the difficulty of your one-armers by grabbing the cordage in different ways. Here I'm just pinching it between my thumb and my index finger, and that already makes the one-armer a lot harder, because you can't really wrap your whole hand around the cordage like I'm doing it in this shot, because my left hand is a lot weaker than my right one, so it doesn't really make sense for me to try that on the left. Here another set, and then I'm gonna show you another option for assisting one-armers like that, which is a simple broom. Almost everyone has that at home. However, the broom is a little bit problematic if it is just as short as the one that I have here, because first of all, it's gonna make the one-armer really, really hard, and second of all, it's gonna, you have to rather push a little bit with your one arm and pull with the other one to get up. And this is very prone for popping your spine, popping the spine between your shoulder blades. For some reason, pushing and pulling, especially if one hand, the pushing hand, is a lot lower than the pulling hand, is very, very tough on your spine. So be careful there that you don't pop something. If you use a broom, then make sure that it's a large one, a long one, which is as high as your hangboard actually hangs, because then you can pull on the broom, so to say, as well. And as you can see, while I'm doing my sets here, I'm having my pulling assisting hand actually almost at the same height as my grabbing hand. And this prevents this kind of popping issue quite well.
Okay, done with the one-armers. Now we are going to do a couple of pull-ups, just to equalize things out again, and then we're gonna step forward to part 3 of the workout.
So I just completed 15 sets of these assisted one-armers, and when I'm doing so many one-armers in one session, I find it quite convenient afterwards to do just a couple of normal pull-ups to kind of equalize things out again. because you're with your brain, you're so much in one arm or the other and not really in the complete pull-up mode again anymore, so to say. And to get back there, just make a couple of normal pull-ups. I think this is a lot healthier for the body to start, to finish a finger training session like this, especially if it contained one-armers. So what I did here, I just made the pull-up edge quite a bit harder by reducing the edge size down to 4 millimeters and 5 millimeter rounding. So for me that's already pretty small. I can only do 1 rep in that setting, in that setup. And I really started to like it unexpectedly. So I decided to do a couple of sets of just one single hard, really small holded pull-up, 1 pull-up per set, super simple, just 2 to 3 minutes rest in between, and getting a couple of these pull-ups done. As you've seen towards the end, I already started to struggle, which is why I removed the spacers again to increase the edge size to 10 millimeters plus 5 millimeter rounding. And in that mode, I can do a couple of pull-ups back to back. I got the question recently how to train dynamic power at home if you understandably don't have a campus board at home. Well, what you can do is doing the pull-ups really fast and dynamically and quickly. Just pull yourself up as quickly as possible on your training edge. Of course, this doesn't replace a proper campus board, but at least you've got some sort of acceleration in your training.
Alright, hangboard work done. Let's do some other stuff.
Alright, at this point the major grind of the workout, I would say, is done. We continue with core stuff, and this is something that I mentioned in this recent video as well, core and antagonistic exercises, super useful and super easy to do at home as well, because all you need basically is just a floor, right? I'm starting here to warm up the core by doing some simple handstand presses. I love the handstand press as a compound exercise because it just hits everything that is usually neglected by climbing, especially the triceps and delts and stuff like that. So you can really prevent shoulder injuries, I think, with this. And it increases your overall body strength, especially on the lower spine, a lot, I had the feeling. Moving on to planche attempts. Now this is admittedly something that's more advanced. You gotta build your way up to this. For those people who are asking, man, when do you finally get the planche done? Well, unfortunately I stopped training this thing for quite some time now again, because I had the feeling it was making me kind of heavy when I trained it a lot. And yeah, now I'm getting back into it. Let's see how I look like in 2-3 sessions or something. I gotta reactivate those muscles a bit. Now here's another little, gym tool that I discovered recently, which are these garden chairs, which you can use quite well for front levers. And this is what I call my core essential trias routine, so to say. The handstand press thing and push-ups, handstand push-ups, as you can see, I'm trying to get back into the push-ups again. And then the planche attempts, which are really amazing again for the delts and overall body strength. And then of course the front lever, which is hitting the core as well, but on the other side, so to say, more on the belly muscles. And this is actually super hard to do, the front lever with these garden chairs. I encourage you to try that out as well if you're already done with the front lever, because you can't really get into the position by putting your legs up first. You just have to start with doing the front lever instantly from the floor. And I found that kind of, here you can see I'm straddling out here a little bit to make it a bit easier. But yeah, great exercise, I had the feeling. And this is already set number 3. Again, starting with the handstand press and push-up. I'm really getting back into it quite fast, I have the feeling. At the beginning I was struggling with balance a lot, but now it already feels quite good again. Don't forget to use these pillows when you try the planche attempts, because otherwise you're gonna smash your head on the ground, and yeah, that's not very convenient. And everybody has pillows at home as well.
Okay, I think my power is dwindling for now regarding the core stuff. You know how this will end. I will do another stretching session, and then this home workout is finished. So I'm gonna make a picture-in-picture here of the awesome stretching session. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was pretty exhausting to make it. It was a lot of effort. I hope you appreciate the effort. I hope you're staying strong in your home training, during your home training as well. Make some gains. Make some home training quarantine gains, my friend. Alright. And I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye.